Good evening, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, helicopters and toasters. We are back for another golf video, and unfortunately it's not a make it look cooler kind of video, it's a maintenance, which nobody likes doing. If you're into cars, you just want to make it look cooler. But anyway, we did do a look cooler thing. We changed out the Tough R's for some Rotoform 6s. So the Tough R's were good, I love Tough R's, but 6s just kind of seem more like a Mark 5 golf kind of wheel. But I'll give you a run through of what we've got going on and then we'll get into it. So it's generic, I have a Mark 5 GTI with no service history upgrade kind of time. So we've got the VVT chain and tensioner kit. We've got a tensioner and chain for the oil pump, because I think when I had a near miss with the engine, that chain might be stretched a bit because it makes a wee bit of noise. We've got the timing belt kit, water pump, the pulleys, and this is the aforementioned present from Steve and Forge, so we'll get into that as well. We've got spigot rings, because I'm the first person to preach about needing spigot rings, but I never put them in my own car. We've got a runner flap delete kit, new inlet manifold gasket, and a GFB DV Plus. And then, so we are under the car. We've got the bottom half of the driver's arch liner off, because so you would probably need this off to do the timing stuff anyway, but we are taking the sump off for the oil pump chain. So to do that, pretty sure you need this off regardless, but 2 bolts here, you're the nightmarish VAG clips to get this boost pipe, and then there's going to be another one of those clips just up there. Undo that, undo these 2 bolts, and this pipe will come off. We've got the coolant draining just now so that we can take the expansion tank out from the top to get into the covers and stuff. So we'll get this off now and we'll see where we're at. So I have first took off the window washer bottle filler cap. Then I undone this 10mm, and then there'll be 2 down there, one there, to get the evap canister out. Unclipped the loom from the expansion tank. There's 2 bolts to hold it on at the back. Undone the coolant pipes, so that's all out. We will probably need to remove this hose here, but we'll get to that when I get to it. Right now I am underneath. Oh, get on me. So we've drained the oil. There is 3 bolts, one here, and in under this mount part. They are 16 mils. Take them out, and then you've got a couple of hidden bolts in these parts, and then just the bolts that are around the sump to get the sump off. So that's what I'm going to do now, drop the sump so I can inspect the pickup pipe, and that needs to be off for the oil pump chain to get done anyway. So we've got the sump off. I'm actually unsure on whether this chain is stretched or not. You can see that the tensioner's not very tensioning, but other than that the chain seems fairly tight. So I'm going to double check that with a expert. But pickup pipe's still nice and clean, so that's good. So next we will get on to removing the serpentine belt, the tensioner, and then I would imagine his engine mount off to get all the timing covers. So my phone was charging, so there's going to be a bit of a jump here. This last clip, we got the sump off, got the oil pump chain guard kind of popped off, and had a wee look at the tensioner. We have now gotten to the point where timing belt's removed, the water pump's changed. That's just 3 bolts. All the runners are off, the rollers are off, the tensioner's off, the rollers are these wee things here, so they're bearing in them, they spin, let the bolt roll freely. And we have got the crank gear off. So basically what we now need to do is we need to take off all these 10mm bolts and pull the front main seal off to get to where this chain ends up running. So we can remove that, change it to intentional, and then it means we can bolt up this whole side, because the rest of the stuff will be other side of the engine, back of the engine, front of the engine. So we had a wee boo-boo yesterday. I ran out of memory space when I was filming. Thought I was doing quite a good job filming up until then, but fortunately or unfortunately, someone forgot to order a front main seal. Hello. So I couldn't actually get much done yesterday anyway, because it was Sunday, nowhere was open, there was no chance I was getting one until this morning. All I had actually got done was removed the main seal cover, changed the oil pump chain and the tensioner. I've not actually shown it. Excuse the rubbish in here, but the tensioner did blow apart as soon as I pulled it off, so this could be a leading cause of some of the diesely idle sounds. The chain was slightly stretched as well, which would cause some problems. So we have got a new one in, you can see it's all nice and fresh. New front main seal on, so now we just need to take the timing gear. There is a little shim in here, I nearly lost it, thankfully I didn't. And you'll notice there's a wee Woodruff key there that lines up on there, so we'll get that back on. Once that's back on, we can get the timing belt back on. You've seen I've already got the water pump in. Get the timing belt on, make sure this side is all good timing wise, and then we can move on to the cam chain side, which I've been putting off. Don't really want to do it, but needs must. So got the belt on. I still need to properly tighten the crank pulley on, but we kind of need it to check the markings, so you can kind of see there that marking's perfect, and so is that one. So what we'll do now is 2 rotations of the engine, make sure those lines mark back up again, and that'll be the timing side done. So we need to build all this side back up, and then we'll be on to the horrible one, that side. Yuck. So we've got timing cover back on, engine mounts back on. I can put the evap tank, the expansion tank and stuff back in, connect these coolant pipes up. That means I'm kind of done with this side of the engine. I need to go and get an aux belt from Euro because Dum forgot that, so I'll go and catch one of them. We'll get the sump cleaned back up and put back on, oil filter changed, that way that's done, and then we'll rocker cover off. So as if I needed any other reminders that I should probably get a camera for doing this, my phone died while I was in the midst of it. So where we're at is all the timing side's done, the engine mounts are all bolted back up, and now we're going to move on to the diverter valve, because that and the oil filter are the last 2 things stopping me from putting this back on the floor. So up there, you can see it there, big block with an electric plug on it. Got a couple of bolts on it, take them off, unplug the plug, and the diverter valve will come out, and I'll show you where the kind of common fault is. So this is the diverter valve in all its glory. What normally happens is this wee orange diaphragm normally splits. It can be heard by what sounds like turbo noises, but really, reality, you're just not boosting. Mine doesn't appear to be split, so what I'll probably do is just keep this as a spare. But my issue is I have the noise and all my boost pipes seem to be fine, so I'm just going to try the new one anyway. I'll keep this as a backup, and if it's still the same, I'll probably go back to this because it's way in. So what we've got here is a GFB DV Plus. It is essentially a metal version. It is meant to last longer and it will hold better under, we'll say, remapped applications, which we will do at some point. So if we've got something that's going to have a bit more longevity, ideal. If not, we'll keep the old one aside just in case. But You more or less need to pop the diaphragm part out of this, change over, well you can actually see on the instructions there, pop it out, and then you build up this part in this order here, and that will allow us to have a fitted unit ready to go back in the car. And just like that, as long as you follow the instructions, you'll have it looking like this. Now you do get longer bolts with this one, just so that you can actually bolt it in. So what I'll do is, as I says, I'll keep the old diaphragm piece and the old bolts to the side, because there's very mixed reviews on this, but we'll try it, we'll see how we get on. So the car's back outside. I got all the timing side of things buttoned up, obviously done a diverter valve as you've seen. Still couldn't get a hold of a cam locking tool for the car. Kind of decided that I would rather tackle the runner, flap, delete and thermostat at the same time that I do the cam stuff. So got it back down, filled it with oil, filled it with coolant, ran it. Everything's fine. It sounds actually a lot better than it did before, now that the oil pump side of things is happy. So what I'll probably do is, I'll do, this is one video, and I'll do another video once I get the cam locking tool and I can tackle the other stuff, because I think I'm also going to need to grab a fuel pump. Mine sounds very unhappy, we'll see. So that'll be it for this video. Keep an eye out. We've still got the forge item to fit as well, and we've also now got something else coming that's quite exciting. Does look good though. I haven't really seen the new wheels. We did throw on some 60s because they just look a lot better on the car, let's be honest. There's the old neglected steed over there. We did also, I don't know if I mentioned it in the video, we wound down the passenger strut because it was sitting 15 to 20 mil too high. So everything's happy on that agenda now. Everything's nice and even and happy. So yeah, we'll be waiting for the right parts. Well, the right tool, essentially. That's kind of what's holding us back at this point. So like, comment, subscribe, all the usual YouTube chit chat, and we'll be back very soon with part 2 of making the Golf run better.